What happens when America's most beloved late-night host comes face-to-face with Hollywood royalty harboring a shocking secret? You won't believe what unfolds when Stephen Colbert's trademark wit meets Meghan Markle's carefully crafted public persona in a confrontation that left audiences stunned and the Duchess of Sussex storming off set in fury. Before we get into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below, because you're not going to believe what unfolds when the gloves come off and the real Meghan Markle is exposed on live television. The Late Show studio buzzed with anticipation as Meghan Markle settled into the guest chair, her designer outfit immaculate, and her media-trained smile firmly in place. What started as promotional appearance for her latest charitable initiative would soon devolve into television chaos that no one saw coming. Colbert opened with his usual charm, welcoming the Duchess with apparent warmth. "Meghan, wonderful to have you back on the show. You look fantastic, and I have to say, your humanitarian work continues to inspire millions around the world." Markle's response came with that practiced grace audiences had grown accustomed to. "Thank you so much, Stephen. It's always a pleasure to be here with you and your incredible audience." But there was something different in her tone tonight, a subtle edge that seasoned television watchers might have caught. The first few minutes proceeded smoothly as they discussed her latest project, a documentary about mental health awareness. Markle spoke eloquently about the importance of breaking stigmas and supporting vulnerable communities. The audience responded positively, applauding at all the right moments. But then Colbert shifted gears, his journalistic instincts kicking in. "Now, I have to ask about something that's been making waves in the media lately. There have been some serious allegations about financial irregularities within your charitable foundation. Care to address those concerns?" The change in Markle's demeanor was instant and unmistakable. Her polished smile faltered for just a fraction of a second before snapping back into place. But the damage was done. Those who knew how to read body language could see the tension creeping into her shoulders, the slight tightening around her eyes. "Stephen, I think there's been some misunderstanding about those reports," she replied, her voice maintaining its measured tone, but with a new underlying steel. "The foundation operates with complete transparency, and we're proud of the work we do." Colbert wasn't backing down, but the documents that surfaced last week suggest that significant funds were diverted from stated charitable purposes. Your former business partner, Sarah Chen, has gone on record saying she witnessed questionable financial decisions firsthand. The mention of Sarah Chen's name hit Markle like a physical blow. Her composure cracked visibly, and for a moment the mask slipped entirely. Sarah Chen is a disgruntled former employee who was terminated for cause. Her allegations are baseless and motivated by personal vendetta. "Actually," Colbert continued, pulling out a folder from his desk, "we reached out to Ms. Chen, and she provided us with some pretty compelling evidence. Internal emails, financial records, board meeting transcripts. Would you like to respond to these specific claims?" The studio fell eerily quiet. You could practically hear the collective intake of breath from the audience as they sensed the shift in energy. This was no longer a friendly celebrity chat. This had become something much more serious. Markle's carefully constructed public image began to crack under pressure. "I don't appreciate ambush journalism, Stephen. This isn't what we agreed to discuss tonight." But Colbert was just getting started, and what came next would push the Duchess past her breaking point. Colbert leaned forward in his chair, his trademark smirk replaced by the serious expression of a seasoned journalist who had just caught his prey. "Meghan, let's talk about the Venice Beach incident from last month. Our producers spoke with several volunteers who were supposed to be helping distribute food to homeless families." Markle's face went pale. "I don't know what you're referring to, Stephen." "Really? Because we have video footage," Colbert said, gesturing to his production team. "Should we roll it?" On the studio monitors, grainy phone footage began playing, showing Markle at what appeared to be a charity event. The audio was muffled, but her voice could be heard, clearly berating volunteers. This isn't Instagram ready. Where are the professional photographers? I need better lighting, and these people need to look more grateful. The audience gasped audibly. Several people could be heard murmuring in shock as the real Meghan Markle was exposed for all to see. That video is taken completely out of context, Markle snapped, her composed facade crumbling rapidly. You have no right to ambush me with edited footage. Colbert raised an eyebrow. Edited? This is raw footage from 3 different phones, Meghan. Are you suggesting these volunteers coordinated some elaborate hoax? I'm suggesting that you're engaging in tabloid journalism, she fired back, her voice rising for the first time. This is beneath you, Stephen. And it's beneath this show. The tension in the studio was now palpable. Camera operators adjusted their shots, sensing they were capturing television history in the making. Colbert's audience, typically quick to applaud and cheer, sat in stunned silence. What's beneath this show, Colbert replied, his voice steady but cutting, is having guests who exploit vulnerable communities for photo opportunities, while millions in donations disappear into administrative costs. Would you like to explain why your foundation spent more on PR firms last year than on actual charitable work? Markle's hands gripped the armrests of her chair so tightly, her knuckles went white. How dare you question my commitment to helping others? I've dedicated my life to service. Have you, though? Colbert shot back, now fully in investigative mode. Because according to former staff members, you once made volunteers wait 4 hours in the rain while you had your hair and makeup redone for what was supposed to be a 2-minute appearance at a children's hospital. Those are lies, Markle hissed, her royal composure completely shattered. Vicious lies spread by jealous people who couldn't handle working with someone of my caliber. The mask was completely off now. The audience sat transfixed as they witnessed the real person behind the carefully crafted public image. This was no longer America's sweetheart Duchess. This was someone else entirely. Colbert pressed on relentlessly. We also spoke with Dr. Martinez from Children's Hospital Los Angeles. She told us about the time you demanded they remove certain patients from your photo opportunity because they weren't, quote, television ready. Is that your idea of service, Meghan? Markle's voice reached a pitch that made the studio microphones crackle. You have no idea what it's like to live under constant scrutiny. Every move I make gets twisted and distorted by people like you. But the host wasn't finished. And what he revealed next would send the Duchess into a fury that would shock everyone. Colbert reached into his desk drawer and pulled out a thick manila envelope. Meghan, I want to show you something that might refresh your memory about your true priorities. He opened the envelope and pulled out what appeared to be a contract. This is a leaked copy of your appearance rider for charity events. Would you like me to read some of the requirements? Markle's eyes widened in horror as she recognized the document. You have no right to private contracts. Oh, but this isn't private anymore, Colbert said, adjusting his glasses theatrically. Let's see here. Fresh white roses in dressing area, replaced every 2 hours. Only Evian water, served at exactly 65 degrees. Minimum of 6 professional photographers, with approval rights over all images. And my personal favorite, no interaction with beneficiaries showing visible illness or disability unless pre-approved for maximum emotional impact. The studio erupted in shocked murmurs. Several audience members could be heard expressing disgust. Markle looked like she wanted to crawl under her chair. That document is fabricated, she said desperately, but her voice lacked conviction. Colbert wasn't done. We also obtained your text messages to event coordinators. Would you like me to share the one where you called a group of foster children not photogenic enough for my brand? That was the breaking point. Markle shot up from her chair, her face contorted with rage. This is character assassination. You've ambushed me with lies and distortions. The only lies here are the ones you've been telling the public for years. Colbert replied calmly, remaining seated as she towered over him. You've built your entire post-royal career on the backs of vulnerable people while enriching yourself. I don't have to sit here and listen to this, Markle screamed, her voice echoing through the studio. You're nothing but a two-bit comedian desperately clinging to relevance by attacking successful women. The audience gasped at the vicious personal attack. Colbert's expression hardened. Successful? Is that what you call exploiting sick children for Instagram content? Is that success to you, Meghan? I've done more good in one day than you'll do in your entire pathetic career. She snarled, pointing an accusatory finger at him. You're jealous of everything I've accomplished. Colbert stood up slowly, his full height making him tower over the trembling Duchess. What you've accomplished is turning charity into a personal branding exercise, while real people suffered. That's not success, Meghan. That's sociopathy. The word hung in the air like a thunderclap. Markle's face went through a spectrum of emotions. Rage, shock, humiliation. Her carefully constructed world was crumbling on live television. How dare you? She shrieked. I'm leaving. This interview is over. She spun around and stormed toward the exit. But Colbert had one final shot. Running away again, Meghan? Just like you did from the royal family when they started asking tough questions? Markle stopped dead in her tracks and whirled around, her face twisted with fury. You know nothing about what I've been through. I know enough, Colbert said firmly. I know you're exactly who these documents say you are. Without another word, Markle ripped off her wireless microphone and hurled it at the desk, missing Colbert by inches. The sound of the mic hitting the floor echoed through the stunned studio as she stormed off the stage, her heels clicking furiously against the floor. Security personnel quickly moved to escort her out as she continued shouting obscenities that had to be bleeped out for television. The studio doors slammed shut behind her, with a resounding bang that seemed to punctuate the entire explosive confrontation. Colbert turned back to his shocked audience and shrugged. Well, folks, that's why we do our homework here at The Late Show. When we come back, we'll have some music to cleanse your palate after that display.